Alright everyone, I've never done this before. However, I know there are a lot of people out there who do like watching playthroughs. I think that it's a good way to interact with a story if you don't really have the time or mental effort or whatever to actually run through the game yourself, or you don't feel like paying the $5 or whatever. So I'm gonna try this out, see what you guys think. For me, I think it's gonna be good practice because it occurred to me, I realized I talk to myself while I'm playing games anyways, and I do all the voices and stuff. So I might as well see if anybody else wants to hear it. For those of you who weren't familiar with this game, this is Planescape Torment, 1997. This is one of the old D&D games, meaning a lot of its kind of rules are using the D&D system. However, this game has been, very, very critically acclaimed. Fans for years have said this is one of the best RPGs ever made. It is very bizarre. It's very grotesque, but it's high fantasy, and it really it has some really amazing stories and all that kind of stuff. I've heard great things about it. However, I've never actually played this game, so I thought that would be good. This is my first run through. I have been playing it like the last couple of days, so was a couple hours in, but then I decided I'd give this a try. If nothing else, I can practice doing accents and things. So I'm going to do a narrated playthrough. There's a lot of dialogue, so I'm going to be reading that out for you guys, but I'm not going to try to do it a little bit faster so it doesn't take forever. But if you're playing it, you're normally reading it in your head anyways, or at least I think you should be, so it's not going to be, that much longer than playing it yourselves. So, first, let me go ahead and play the opening for you. So that's the opening. Obviously you see a lot of that kind of grotesque, horror-esque components. So I'm going to go ahead and go with a new life. I'm going to... One of the really interesting things in this game is when you're creating your character, this is it. So there's no... everything's malleable. So instead of, like in Baldur's Gate, which is a similar game like this, or in D&D in general, things like that, a lot of times you'll pick your alignment, which means, if you're a good person or a bad person or so on. But in this game, not only your alignment, but also your class, meaning if you're a wizard or a fighter or things like that, they change based on what you do in the game, which is incredibly interesting. So your dialogue that you have with these random NPCs, these random bots, all of it matters, which is awesome. So I'm going to, first of all, I was reading something random. It did say wisdom is one of the most important stats. It's gives you bonus experience, it says here, but it also gives you a lot more dialogue options. Because I'm doing this, I want to have as many dialogue options as possible, so I'm going to make sure my charisma and my intelligence are pretty decent. That way I'm not missing out on anything there. Let me do... I have exceptional intelligence. Exceptional wisdom. Do I want... what did I do? 14 charisma, maybe 17 wisdom? Or do I want a 16 intelligence? Now, let's do that. Con is useful because you regenerate and you're a big tough guy. Anyways, we'll go with that, and you wake up. So for the cutscenes, I'm going to try to shut up so that you can really experience it.
Hey, Chief, you okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties? I thought you were a deader for sure.
Who are you? Oh my. How about you start? Who are you? I don't know. I can't remember. You can't remember your name? Huh. Well, next time you spend a night in this burg, go easy on the bub. Name's Mort. I'm trapped in here too. Trapped? Yeah, since you haven't had time to get your legs yet, here's the chant. I've tried all the doors, and this room is locked tighter than a chastity belt. We're locked in? Where? What is this place? It's called the Mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. The Mortuary? What? Am I dead? Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty, though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. All the more reason to give this place the laugh before whoever carved you up comes back to finish the job. Scars? How bad are they? Well, carvings on your chest aren't too bad, but the ones on your back... Say, looks like you got a whole tattoo gallery on your back, Chief. Spells something out. Tattoos on my back. What do they say? Huh, it looks like you come with directions. Let's see, it starts with... I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Styx Wash, but you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farid can fill you in on the rest of the chant, if he's not in the dead book already. Farid? Does it say anything else? Yeah, there's a bit more. Let's see, it goes on. Don't lose the journal, or we'll be up the sticks again. Whatever you do, do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you. Read the journal, then find Farid. No wonder my back hurts. There's a damn novel written there. As for the journal, I'm supposed to have it with me. Was there one with me while I was lying here? No. You were stripped to the skins when you arrived here. Besides, looks like you got enough of a journal penned on your body. What about Farid? Do you know him? Nobody I know, but then again, I don't know many people. Still, some Burke's gotta know where to find Farid. Once we get out of here, that is. How do we get out of here? Well, all the doors are locked, so we'll need a key. And chances are, one of the walking corpses in the room has it. Walking corpses? Yeah, a mortuary keeper uses dead bodies as cheap labor. Corpses are dumb as stones, but they're harmless, and won't attack you unless you attack first. So I should attack one of these corpses and loot it for the key? Well, before you do that, arm yourself first. I think there's a scalpel on one of those shelves over there. Alright, I'll look for one. One last thing. These corpses are slow as molasses, but getting punched by one is like being kissed by a battering ram. If they start getting an edge on you, remember you can run, and they can't. Use it to keep some distance if you need to recover. Alright, thanks for the advice.
Alright.
Oh, so he's following me around. He's joined my party, which is good, because let's look at his statistics. So these are our stats. You start off as a fighter, because we don't know anything, and hitting stuff with sticks is easy. He's got a good dex, which means his armor class is probably extra low, because he's a literal floating head. Not the best charisma. He's, not exactly the smoothest of talkers. Good con, though, so pretty tough. And he's chaotic good. Alright. So, let's run over here. Bandages. And a scalpel. Alright. Oh, that was it. It just gave me that slow thing. Alright, so now let's go to this worker. The shambling corpse looks like it has been dead for several years. The skin along its forehead has peeled back, revealing its chalk-white skull. Someone has chiseled the number 569 into the exposed bone. Should I talk to him, or should I just search it? I'll try talking to him.
I'm looking for a key. Do you happen to have one?
Chief, they can't hear you, alright? They're dead.
But you're dead, and you're talking to me.
Yeah, but I'm special. Death couldn't kill my zest for life. These corpses here, they probably didn't have much personality to begin with.
I see.
Look, Chief, watching you trying to swap the chant with these corpses isn't doing much for my morale. Let's leave the corpse talk for the barmies, alright?
Alright then, let's go.
So, let's examine him. This corpse doesn't appear to be carrying a key, and it doesn't look like it'd be able to use one if it did. Its fingers are broken, as if someone smashed them with a hammer. We do notice that its left shoulder is heavily bandaged. The bandages might be useful if the corpse was disposed of first. So I guess I will... Oh, I should probably equip my weapon. Let me pull up my inventory. Let's whip out that scalpel. Now I'm tough. And the both of us are gonna kill this poor Burke. No, don't stop, don't talk, kill him. Okay, I'm gonna hit the weapon button. Select weapon. Now kill him. There we go.
Done.
So, I'm gonna use those highly used bandages, but you know what? Whatever gets the job done. Let's go check this guy out. The corpse head lolls back and forth on its shoulders. Judging from the angles of the neck, it looks like this man may have been hanged. The number 825 has been painted on the side of his head. I'm not going to talk to him, because Morty will make fun of me. Or Mort, whatever. His corpse is carrying nothing, but you notice its hands are heavily bandaged. The bandaged might be useful if you dispose of the corpse first. Well, then I guess I gotta murder this guy, too. Politely. No, stop. No, don't talk. Murder. Push the murder button. Alright, now murder.
Damn it.
More bandages. Alright. Now let's come over here so that when I murder him, Mort's right next to me. The corpse stops and stares blankly at you as you approach. The number 782 is carved into his forehead. His lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. Examine. The corpse looks like the one with the key, is holding it tightly gripped in its left hand, its thumb and forefinger locked around it in a death grip. It looks like you'll need to hack the corpse's hand off to free the key. Well, I guess that's not going to be polite. But hey, I'm racking up this experience, so, that works. Preparation room key. Don't mind if I do. Let me talk to Maury, see what he thinks. Alright, that's the key. It must fit the lock of one of the doors in the room.
I'll try all the doors then.
That was...
Alright.
But, you see how this... the game really does play like a brilliant story, all that narrative that they put in there, so I'm gonna try to do my best, and I made it through the door. Ooh. Cutscene. Psst. Some advice, Chief? I'd keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary, especially the femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here. I'll be done.
Why do you care about the female corpses?
What? Are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no lobbing their limbs off, things like that.
Last chance? What are you talking about?
Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going? This is like the Monty Python skit.
You can't be serious.
Chief, we already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We've all died at least once. Well, we'll have something to talk about. They'll appreciate men with our kind of death experience.
Wait, didn't you say before that I'm not dead?
Well, alright. You might not be dead, but I am, and from where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of these fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Mort starts clacking his teeth as if in anticipation. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely.
Who are these caretakers again?
They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an addled bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die. Sooner, better than later.
I'm confused. Why do these Dustmen care if I escape?
Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's gotta die. Sooner, better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it?
The corpses I've seen, where did they all come from?
Death visits the plane every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. Alright. If I say this, let me see. Yeah, okay, that's the same thing.
Alright. I'll try to remember that.
Look, Chief, it's obvious you're still a little addled after your kiss with death, so I got 2 bits of advice for you. 1, if you got questions, ask me, alright?
Alright, if I have questions, I'll ask you.
2nd, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing stuff down. Whenever you come across something that might be important, jot it down so you don't forget.
If I had that journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that.
Start a new one then, Chief. No loss. There's plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you.
Alright, it couldn't hurt. I'll make a new one then.
Use to keep track of your movements if you ever start to get cloudy on important things, like who you are, or more importantly, who I am. Use it to refresh your memory.
Alright, I got it. Let's go.
Updated my journal.
Updated my journal.
The second one was me. You probably couldn't tell. So that's, now we have this handy dandy journal that has my quests in it. I can pull up the journal, and it, wow, does it record everything? No, it doesn't record everything, but it does record a lot, so that's good. And then we got the, that's what I look like. A beast, I know. And here are the zombies we're hanging out with. So that's handy. That is it's nice that they, add that in-game. Let's check this guy out. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. Her skin is paper-thin, almost wispy. It's like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been scratched onto her forehead with a charcoal pencil. Leave the corpse in peace. Psst. You see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she's following the curve of my occipital bone?
What are you talking about?
What? Are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me. I'll go to this one.
Wanted you to go away, maybe. She was obviously too distracted by me to pay attention to some stupid bobbing head with a big mouth.
Yeah, you? Yeah, right. Trust me. Chits beyond the grave don't care about all that physicality stuff, and I've got a body, and I'm all scarred and tough looking. They want guys with spirit. That's me, Chief. You? Corpses like you are as common as copper.
Whatever, Morty. Let's go.
I'm gonna say Morty, I don't know. I'm sure it's supposed to be Mort, but Morty's funnier. The left side of this woman's face looks as if it was caved in with a club, and her flesh sags in bruised, swollen clumps over her ruined skull. The number 626 has been stitched onto the corpse's right cheek just below. That's, I'm sure, very coincidental, but if Experiment 626 is Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, that's funny. Which I watch with my baby brother. I wouldn't just watch that alone. I do. But you can see how much detail they're going on, all of these random zombies. It has each own thing. I'm just gonna leave it be. Or, yeah. Let's go over here, look at this one. I think the corpse is lumbering along a triangular path. Once it reaches one of the corners of the triangle, it pauses, then turns and staggers towards the next corner. It has 965 tattooed on the side of its skull. As you approach, it halts and stares at you. Heh, looks like someone forgot to tell this sod to stop walking the rule of threes.
What do you mean?
These corpses don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do much more than one task at a time. When they're told to do something, they'll keep doing it until someone tells them to stop. This poor sod probably finished some task and they forgot to tell him.
You said something about the rule of threes. What did you mean by that?
Updated my journal.
Yeah, well, the rule of threes is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes, or everything's composed of 3 parts, or there's always 3 choices, and so on and so forth. I like that. It's also very, very self-aware. You always have your 3 choices for...
You don't sound like you hold much faith in it.
It's a load of wash. There they are. 3 choices. It's a load of wash, if you ask me. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're going to find plenty of coincidences.
I see. Before you said someone put this corpse a task, then forgot to tell them to stop. Who gives these corpses these tasks to do?
Either one of the caretakers here, or else whatever necromancer raised them out of the dead book. Probably one of the caretakers here. They're the ones who need the cheap labor, after all.
Understood. I wanted to examine the zombie a bit more.
Nope, I guess not. Never mind. Let me just go ahead and murder them. Okay, so I gotta politely kill all of these guys, because first of all, zombie rights and all that, they shouldn't have to be going around serving everyone. But also, this way I know I've already read them, so I don't reread them for you guys. And maybe they've got cool stuff.
Damn it.
Hopefully Hopefully they don't actually come and check on them if I kill everybody, because then I have to deal with the other guys. But you know what? All this juicy experience, I can't complain. Is there anything over here? Guess not. Let me see. I'm gonna check because they hide stuff sometimes. Oh, hopefully this door opens. It does open. Ooh, here's somebody. This corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpses lying there. The number 396 is carved into his left temple, and his lips are stitched closed. You notice the corpse is carrying a roll of bandages in its hand. The bandages look useful. I'm gonna ask politely, mind if I borrow those bandages? It doesn't say anything because it's dead. I'm gonna try and take the zombie bandage. You snake your hand out and take the roll of bandages from the corpse's hand. The corpse doesn't even seem to notice. It continues going through the motions of bandaging bodies. I'm gonna have to kill him now, because otherwise I'm gonna forget, and then I'm gonna try to take him again. Let me just politely, again, with the polite prayer. Oh, dang it, nothing in there. But this one, oh, what's that? Receiving room logbook. So that's another thing, is this game is, you have all these different books, so you can pull them up. This huge logbook lists mortuary procedures in a tight, crabbed script. Crabbed? Is that a thing? All shells entering the mortuary are to be delivered to the receiving room and logged with the scribe on duty before being embalmed or cremated. The records are to be checked to determine if the shell is the one of the contracted, and if so, is one of the contracted, and if so, do not prepare the shell. Move the shell to one of the preparation rooms, contact the scribe on duty, and notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Be certain that a shell is thoroughly stripped of its possessions before being sent to the preparation room. The contracted workers are intended for simple manual labor and do not have the capacity to search and strip this shell. The faction is not responsible for any possessions lost or items stolen by collectors who have brought the shells to the mortuary. The shell's possessions are to be stored in the receiving room until an initiate can be sent to claim them. Please catalog all possessions in the logbook. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice the last page has been cut out. Alright, let's go see what's on. Ooh, we got somebody down there. Let me talk to this guy first. The number 1201 has been inked on the forehead of this corpse, and the ink has run down its eyes, cheeks, and jaw. As you follow the ink tears down the corpse's face, you notice it has run into the stitching, sealing the corpse's lips, and has caught on what looks like the corner of a note stuck in the corpse's mouth. Try and pull the note out. The note has mingled with ichor in the zombie's mouth. If you tried to pull the paper out through the cross stitches, it would tear the paper to shreds. Hacking up the corpse to get at it looks like it will destroy the note. You'll need to find a delicate way to remove the stitches before removing the note. Luckily, I have a scalpel and the calm, steady hands of a surgeon. Use the scalpel to cut through the stitches. Hopefully that works. Oh, experience. You deftly slice through the stitches, sealing the corpse's mouth, and the jaw sags open. I sliced through the stitches, sealing, so now it opens. You carefully pull the note from the corpse's mouth. Despite the condition of the paper, the writing on it still appears legible. Piece of paper. I wonder if it happens to be that specific piece of paper that was just not in the thing that I was looking at. Note from Corpse 1201. This is a foul-smelling note, retrieved from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Despite its condition, the writing is legible. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you, I know of my legal obligation under the terms of the dead contract, but I am prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. I've arranged for this note to be left with my body upon my death. If If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. The key is 1201. It looks like the corpse was too late to prevent the raising, but you notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. It looks like directions for folding the parchment into a strange pattern. 1201. Okay, so now we have a puzzle. There's a series of strange... Oh, wait. The foul-smelling note. It looks as if it's instructing you to fold corners of the note so that their points touch the center. There is a series of strange marks on each corner. 1 on the upper right, 2 on the lower right, 3 on the lower left, and no marks on the upper left. So we have 1, which would be upper right, so fold the upper right into the center. You fold the corner inward so point touches the center. It's 1, 2, so that was here, so that's going to be lower right. Fold the lower right into the center. You fold the corner inward so it points touches blah, blah. Then it's going to be O, so it's going to be this one, which is upper left. Fold the upper left. As you fold the upper left, you watch as the upper right unfolds by itself, resuming its normal position. And the upper right, so now that's 1 again, so we'll fold that back down. Fold the upper right back into the center. As you fold the upper right corner back to the center, the lower left corner mirrors the action until all the corners touch in the center. You watch for a moment, and then the corners of the paper raise up, turning the note into a small, four-sided paper pyramid. Open the sides of the pyramid. You peel back the sides of the pyramid, and the paper disintegrates to dust. Inside is a small triangle-shaped earring. It catches the light and gleams brightly. Well, don't mind if I do. And because she was, she specifically asked for that and gave me this reward, I'm gonna go ahead and kill her. That way, after she's, she appeared to very much care about her body and was hoping to be cremated. I don't think I can do that. Maybe I'll talk to this guy down here who hopefully won't kill me. Female corpse is making the rounds from slab to slab. In the room, her hair is knotted into a long braid and looped around her neck like a noose. Someone has stenciled the number 1096 onto her forehead, and her lips have been stitched closed. I guess I'll go ahead. I'll kill her less politely, though, because she didn't get surprised like she did. Oh, that was easy. See, I'm already getting better. The smell of formaldehyde emanating from this corpse is particularly strong. It smells like it was applied recently, and with good reason. This corpse appears to be in an advanced stage of decay. Her jaw is missing, and some of the flesh has slid off her skull, revealing the number 1072 chiseled into the bone. I'll put her out of her zombie misery. Ooh, stuff. Maybe. Nope, empty. Did I check this one already? Empty. Alright, time to talk to this guy. Oh, except there's that zombie down there. Now let me talk to this guy first. Doll. The scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, with a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings. Whoa, Chief. What are you doing? I was going to speak with the scribe. He might know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box with Dusty should be the last thing. Continue. Oh, I have to go click. Before Morty can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down, and the scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh, the better. Before Morty can finish, The scribe's gray eyes flickered at you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments.
Restless one, do you know me?
Know you? There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question, as always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. I am Dahl.
Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Dahl.
Updated my journal.
Very well. What did you wish to know?
What is this place?
You are in the mortuary, restless one. Again you have come. Before he can finish, Dahl breaks into a fit of coughing. After a moment, he calms himself and his breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. I don't think that's what they meant. This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life.
Tell me about the mortuary.
This is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated. It is our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left this shadow of life and walk the path to true death. Dahl's voice drops in concern. Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home.
Shadow of life?
Yes, a shadow, you see, restless one, this life. It is not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die, and here we remain, trapped, caged, until we achieve the true death.
True death?
True death is non-existence, a state of devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. A state of purity.
Sounds like oblivion. Why would anyone want that?
It is worse than remaining in the shadow of what life once was. I think not.
Tell me more about the mortuary.
This is where that's the same one.
Dustmen?
We dustmen are a faction, a gathering of those that recognize the illusion of this life. We await the next life and help others on the journey.
Perhaps you can explain why the dustmen want me dead.
It is said there are souls who can never attain the true death. Death has forsaken them, and their names shall never be penned in the dead book. To awake from death as you have done suggests you are one of these souls. Your existence is unacceptable to our faction.
Unacceptable? That doesn't sound like it leaves me in a good position.
You must understand, your existence is blasphemy to them. Many of our faction would order you cremated if they were aware of your affliction.
You're a dustman, but you don't seem in favor of killing me. Why not?
Because forcing our beliefs upon you is not just. You must give up this shadow of life on your own, not because we force you to. As long as I remain at my post, I will protect your right to search for your own truth.
What is your post?
I am a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come to the mortuary. As long as the stream of corpses flow through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post.
You say that I've been here more than once. How is it that the dustmen do not recognize me?
Updated my journal.
I am the one that catalogs the shells that come to our halls, restless one. Only I see the faces of those that lie upon our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me. Tell me more about
The mortuary. Sigil. Sigil is our fair city, restless one. Tell me more about the mortuary. Wounds? Yes, the wounds that decorate your body. They look as if they would have sent a lesser man along the path of the true death. Yet, it seems as if many of them have healed already. But those are only surface wounds. Only surface wounds? What do you mean?
Updated my journal.
I speak of the wounds of your mind. You have forgotten much, have you not? Maybe your true wounds run deeper than the scars that decorate your surface. But that is something that only you would know for certain. I had some other questions. How did I get here? Dahl snorts in contempt as if he finds the memory repugnant. Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, restless one. You would think you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the cart that carried you. I arrived here on
Updated
a
my
cart.
journal.
Yes, your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. Your seneschal, Farad, was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate. It doesn't sound like this Farad liked me much. Doesn't sound like you like Farad much. There are some I respect, restless one. Farad is not one of them. He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor and takes liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a knight of the post, cross-trading filth of the lowest sort. Knight of the post? A knight of the post. A thief. All Farad brings to our walls comes stripped of a little less of their dignity than they possessed in life. Farad takes whatever he may pry from their stiffening fingers. Do you know where I can find Farad? If events persist as they have, restless one, you have a much greater chance of Farad finding you and bringing you to us again before whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time. Nevertheless, I must find him. Do not seek Farad, restless one. I am certain that it will simply come full circle again, with you none the wiser and Farad a few coppers richer. Accept death, restless one. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery. I had some other questions. Can you tell me how I can get out of here? The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than a dustman pass. One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it, but it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive. Do you know who
Updated
I am?
my journal.
I know scant little of you, restless one. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you, and who now lie in our keeping. I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, restless one. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. There are others who have journeyed with me, and they are here.
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memory hall below? I had thought that she traveled with you in the past. Am I mistaken? Where is her body? The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the buyers there. Her name should be on the memorial plaque. Mayhap that will remind your memory. You said there were others. Who else is here? Doubtless there are, but I know not their names nor where they live. One such as you has left a path many have walked, and few have survived. All dead come here. Some must have traveled with you once. I find no fault with your reasoning. I had some other questions. You sound ill. Are you not well?
I am close now to the true death, restless one. It will not be long before I pass the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I.
The eternal boundary?
A boundary between the shadow of life and the true death. Now I have to go back so I can... You sound ill, yada yada yada.
Are you certain? There might be some way I could help you.
I do not wish to live forever nor live again, restless one. I could not bear it.
So be it. Farewell, doll.
Know this, I do not envy you, restless one. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I do not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point, your path will return here. It is the way of all things flesh and bone.
Then perhaps we will meet again, doll.
I'm not flirting with him. That's his name. Doll, not doll.
The walking corpse has the numbers 1094 carved into its forehead. Its mouth has been sewn tightly shut, and the chemical reek of fresh formaldehyde hangs in an overpowering cloud around it. Despite the pallid, sunken features and lifeless, milky eyes, it is clear that this was once a handsome young man. Oh great, now I'm jealous. Leave the corpse in peace? I think not. A little something called murder. But that's what you get for being pretty. But see, so this guy has nothing on him. There's no story. You know, if you talk to him, it just obviously doesn't say anything. It keeps doing its job. Yet they still put all that detail into writing about him, which I think is pretty awesome. This book is huge. It must contain thousands of names. Probably a lot more. Let me just check this. And I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. So if anybody's still watching or listening or whatever, let me know what you think. You know, I really do think that this does so well as like an audiobook, a narrated novel type deal. So let me know what you think. If you want more, you can give me advice or, you know, say, oh, well, you sound terrible as Morty. I'd rather die. But then I'd say, well, he's a bit ahead of you. Get it? Okay. Other than that, it is 2:48. Oh, no, my clock's so slow. So it's 2:53 a.m. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are interested and want more of the game, and hopefully of me playing that game. Alright. All the best.